as we go through the presentation. I work primarily with wood and clay. I do some copper wire work too. My goal is small and simple: to make people think, open themselves to new concepts, become more curious about surrounding us, and reflect on our being. A very small, minute goal. Next, please. The creature's habitat I create in my shed and in my workspace at home. The shed is 8 by 10, small, concise, and very comfortable to what I need to do. My other part of the creating space is my home at the bottom, at the basement, where I do more of the non-messy stuff, clay stuff. Next, please. The rest of the house is devoted to present my work as my studio and my gallery, and you can see there's no corner or place in the house without anything to present there. My wife has a wonderful time rearranging every day, every week, the work from different places, so the place looks anew every week. Next, please. My biases, I should say my preferred style. My wife corrected me. She said I should not be negative, but truthfully, these are my biases. So as we'll go through them, you'll recognize why, and you may agree or disagree with them. So you don't have to bother to read this list, because I'll go and explain each one of them in particular. Next, please. So my first preference is really to focus and explore new concepts, learn and continue to do new things, not necessarily to create a series of things or duplicate on concepts. This is kind of a summary of the breadth of things that I'm involved in. From left to right, the piece called Parenthood is a woodwork, obviously reflects line thinking. The one above and to the right, relationship, is more a volumetric type of work. Underneath, the self-expression is a combination of different media, from dark walnut to clay and metal. Supposed to reflect, of course, our self-awareness. We have something at the back of our mind looking through our eyes into the reality that we experience. Next, One Heart, a beautiful weeping cherry died on my yard, and my wife and I were very sad of that, and that was the outcome of an external project, One Heart. I do reliefs, and you see the two-face, which shows a face from profile and from up front. And the challenge there was to do all of that with one pen stroke, not getting your hand off the paper once. I do clay work, and that's the essential node that you see in purple and blue. I look for opportunities, and sometimes I do find wood, discarded wood, like a burned piece of wood floating in our lake, and I made that into a two fish. And as I mentioned before, I do also copper wire work, the piece called Caught in Time, like an individual caught in a web of time. Next, please. I'm trying very hard to be true and follow the concepts and idea that I have, and that over and above consideration of material and aesthetic. Not that I'm not careful about aesthetic, but aesthetics is not the main goal always. A couple of examples. From the left to right, expression. This is an interactive sculpture. You have layers of different parts of the face. There are 3 for each layer, and you can play and switch them around to create your own expression of the day. The wood is very common wood, not anything special. Fir at the top, mahogany in the middle, and poplar at the bottom. So very, very common wood, and the concept was more important than the type of wood I'm going to use. Stepping down, this is, of course, plywood. And that was done in 2018 when I decided to voluntarily retire from my successful position. It was full-time. I looked at the leaves and I saw, well, I should go down very much, gracefully and willingly as the leaves stepping down every season. Beauty, that's part of the weeping cherry tree that I mentioned before. I adore the body of a pregnant woman. I have to say it up front. Although the wood was a little bit damaged with molds and stuff, the essence of it came through so clearly that I had to use it. And finally, the wild garden. Next, please. It should rotate. There you go. You have a nest, earth, our nursery, and a humanoid engulfed with wires, the viruses. And this is the reality that we have to get used to. Again, it's not, the essence is not the prettiness or the final aesthetic of it, but the concept. Next, please. Back. Thank you. I'm trying to avoid symmetry and redundancy. Symmetry to me is redundancy. If the right side is exactly the same as the left side, why bother? So 2 examples: olive leaf. You can say, yeah, you started with something that was asymmetric from the beginning, and that's true. I just wanted to exemplify the point. On the other hand, the next piece is significant. Next, please. That was carved from 2 pieces of wood. It's supposed to relay the issue of scale. We are in the middle of a very vast scale for microscopic things that move very fast, the subatomic, and the above heavens that move slowly and gently. And we are in the middle. Question is, how significant are we vis-a-vis that enormous scale of things in the universe? Next, please. I'm trying to incorporate motion and flow lines for the whole and for the parts of the project. The left project, a question, well, that was pretty easy to do. That's a question mark and all the lines are flowing. The one in the middle, fractal S, is made out of shapes, all of them the letter S. The fractal idea is you have a piece, you have a structural component that repeats itself from a very low scale to the very high scale. And regardless at what scale you're looking at it, you see that main structure. The next one, parenthood, next please. You can see that the lines are flowing from the bottom to the top, and this is parenthood, supposed to show you relationship between 2 parents and a sibling in the middle. So again, the holistic approach is very important to me. Next, please.
You have about 2 minutes.
Okay. I'm trying very hard to integrate the base into my design. Bereshit, Genesis, the base is part of the design. Human sail, human sail. The body of woman is like a sailboat sailing the next generation through life. And sometimes the base can contract the sculpture itself, like circular view and flowering. Next, please. Next, please. This is an angel, and it should look very interesting and very different from every point of view. Next, please. Likewise, a relationship. You see 2 pairs of relationship and 4 profiles, and it looks very interesting and different from every point of view. Next, please. Don't seek necessarily reflect perfection. You see the pieces that look sometimes half done as long as the concept is conveyed with the nursing, the outlier, and the layer. Next, please. And you can appreciate the roughness when you look at the 3D version of this. Next, please. And finally, you need to love what you do and do what you love. If you have a concept like a theory about unknown stuff on the left side theory, or suddenly you're being caught by what are you doing when you're cutting the grass? You're destroying beautiful flowers for the sake of a blade of a lawn, or conquering Earth, what we're doing to the environment, or the quantum knowledge, what is the essence of quantum theory, for example. If this is something you like to do, if this is something you feel strongly about it, go and do it. Next, please. And that's it. I thank you for your attention.